everybody. Welcome to the show. We've got a special entertainer for you today. So please, if you would, put your hands together and welcome Harry Kurtz. Thank you, that's me.
Have fun, everybody.
Please relax, try and stay awake. If you need to go to the bathroom, please just go if you can. Well, welcome to the show. My name is Perry Kurtz. A little bit about myself. First of all, I have been a professional comedian for 41 years. This is all I've ever done because I couldn't work at a regular job. I've learned to market my illness, as we say in the business. I am also 64 years old and I have a 10-year-old daughter. Thank you very much, ladies. Yes. Wow. In fact, I have her, she's sitting in the back. Bella, come up here for a second. Come up so they can see it. This is my little baby. Is that gorgeous? All right, now get out of here. You're taking my attention. Yes, I got lucky with that one. I really did. And I'm originally from Philadelphia. This is my hometown. I came back out here for the week to see all my friends that I grew up with. And my mother, I don't know if you know Anita Kurtz, the tiny little redhead in the fourth row there. It just amazes me that I've known my mother all my life because she gave birth to me. And it's amazing her hair has never changed color. It has been the same color for 64 years. Yeah, it's always been a redhead. And when I was younger, when I first got into comedy, I don't know if you noticed my mother, she's not on the tall side, she's kind of short. She was 4'11", I think she's like 3'2" now. But I used to make jokes about her because when she was younger, she looked just like Dr. Ruth. Remember Dr. Ruth Westheimer? And one time I was making jokes about her and she came up on stage and goes, "Shut up, I'm his mama, Dr. Ruth," and ran off the stage. But I'm very happy with my life because I'm 64 years old and I wake up every morning the same way. I wake up and I go, oh, I'm still alive. I can't believe I made it. You ever do that? You wake up in the morning and you go, I can't believe I got to be this old? Aren't you surprised? Anybody think you would live past 30 or am I the only one? Well, I want you to know my shows are a little bit different than most entertainers. My shows are about and with you. So I will be talking to you and feel free to ask me questions if you want. So what I want to do is get everybody to respond together. So I'm going to ask you some simple questions. I don't want you to have to raise your hand or applaud, but if your answer is yes, I want you to go, "Ee-haw!" See, the women like it because women just like to make noises. So on the count of three, everybody go "ee-haw" as hard and as long as you can. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Ee-haw! Wow, you guys are good. All right, now remember, if your answer is yes, go "ee-haw." Okay, first question. How many people are seeing me today for the first time? Ee-haw! Okay. How many have never seen me before? I confused a lot of people. How many people are here today? Are here. How many don't know where you are? The big question, how many really don't care at this point? All right, good. Well, as I said, I'm 64 years old, so I'm not necessarily here to entertain you. I'm also looking for a place to live. And my big question is, how's the food? Good? Ee-haw? Some people going, okay, all right, well, as long as you're eating it and still alive, that's important. You see, the bottom line to life is you gotta keep going. Never give up. Because the brain controls the body, and as long as your brain is walking, your body will follow. So try and keep yourself active because you never know, like, you could be in the middle of a show trying to entertain people, and all of a sudden a guy with a red hat and a blue sweatshirt will just come walking in really slowly and just creep through the room with a towel over his shoulder, and eventually he'll sit down on the side. Oh, look, he's here. Hi there. Thanks for stopping by. We're glad you're here. I'm Perry Kurtz, by the way. My name is Perry. I've learned to say it different in California. It's Perry, but out there I've learned to say Perry. Because I would say Perry and they go, Murray? No, it's Perry. Jerry? No, it's Perry. Terry? So I've learned to say Perry. So it's Perry, as in Perry Como, Perry Mason, Periwinkle, or there's actually medication out now called Perry Anal Cream. And they don't give me a nickel for using my name there either. There's also a very famous pop singer by the name of Katy Perry. I don't know if you've heard of her. She's a woman. I'm a man. Don't make me prove that. I proved it last week. She said, "Oh, you're Jewish." That's a feeler joke to see how far I can go.
As far as you want.
As far as I want? All right. And as I said, I live in California now. I live in Los Angeles. I've had some good luck. I've been on a couple TV shows. I've been on America's Got Talent. I was on Let's Make a Deal. And I did a walk-on The Tonight Show. I used to write for Jay Leno all the time, but I was faxing the jokes in. I ran into him. He says, "Hey, why don't you come down? I'll just let you on the stage." So what happened is he comes down and he shakes hands with everybody. So he got done shaking hands, and I ran up to him and I said, "Back up." And he backed up on the stage, and I jumped up there with him, and I hugged him. And I'm hugging him, and he whispers in my ear, "I think that's enough, Perry. Go back to your seat." And that was it. I was on The Tonight Show. But I traveled around the country, and I'm just so glad that I'm making it because my health is going too. Getting older is a change. Let's face it, we're all different. And the bottom line is, when you were younger, remember you wanted to be older? Did you ever meet a little kid? How old are you? 3.5. How old are you? 9 3/4. How old are you? 10 7/8. Then you get to be 30 and 40 and you start going backwards. How are you? How old are you? I'm going to be 40. How old are you? I'm almost 60. How old are you when you get to be 70? It doesn't really matter anymore. But be proud of whatever age you are because you made it this far. Our bodies change. When you were young, remember when you were young and you were thin and you were trim and you would take a shower and to wash the soap off, all you had to do was put your arms up and turn around and the shower would wash it off. Then you hit 40 and gravity starts dragging your parts down. And to wash the soap off, you have to lift things out of the way. I did that last week. I found a wallet under my stomach. Had 50 bucks in it. But money's still good when it's wet. And our hair changes color. I'm amazed that I still even have my hair. My father was bald when he was 18. I still have all my hair. And I don't have a bald spot. And I've actually had people come up to me, young guys, they always say, "Do you color your hair?" I go, "Yeah, I colored it dark and then I sprayed the gray back into it." But you gotta stay active. Don't lay around in your rooms and watch TV. Get out, talk to people. Talking to people is great. Playing bingo is really good. Any bingo players? Yeah, bingo is a great game. It works 3 parts of your brain. When you play bingo, number 1, you have to turn up your hearing aid so you can hear what the number is. Number 2, you have to adjust your glasses so you can see where it is on the card. And number 3, you have to try and get your hand onto the card without knocking the rest of the chips off. Now I say that because a while ago I developed a spasm in my left hand. When I hold something that's light, like a knife or a fork, my hand shakes. And then I didn't know this until my daughter and I were having some macaroni and cheese, and I went to put it up here, and my hand shook, and the macaroni and cheese flew across the room, hit a painting, and slid all the way down to the ground. Any idea how embarrassing it is to be kicked out of Denny's? So now they have a device that if your hand shakes, you can put the knife or the fork inside, and if your hand shakes, it stays still. So now you don't have to worry about stabbing yourself in the face. But as I said, I'm 64. I have diabetes. Anybody with diabetes here? That's not good, but I'm glad to see some people meet it. I have it under control. I take medication, but 9 years ago, I got arthritis and I had to have my hip replaced. Any hip replacements? A couple people. Yeah, I had it. I'm glad I did because now I can walk. But when I got it, I had a bone spur, a lump of bone in there. And when I would walk, it would go. And there was a time I was at the Improv in Hollywood, and a new comic just came in from New York. Anybody from New York? Good, because those people, they got an attitude. You ever notice that? People in New York all sound like they ate a sandwich, but they still got part of it in the left side of their mouth. They'll talk about, how you doing? How are you? What's up? So this guy shows up. His name is Louis, surprise, wearing a leather jacket, and he comes walking in. Yeah, I'm from New York. I'm better than all you guys. I'm funnier than all you LA comics. I'm a tough guy. I said, really? Louis, come here a minute. He goes, what? I said, you a tough guy? He goes, yeah. I said, give me your hand. He goes, why? I said, put your hand on my head. He goes, why? And I lifted my leg and it went, and he ran out of the room crying. So I got the hip replaced. Now I have a metal hip. And I went to do a tour of military bases in Japan and Korea, which was great to work for the military. They needed the laughter. But when I went through the airport in Japan, it set off all the alarms. And they sent out a beautiful little Japanese policewoman to examine me. She looked like Miyoshi Umeki. I don't know if you guys remember her. Beautiful, right? She was gorgeous like this tall. She comes out, she goes, hi, I must examine you now. And I looked at her, I said, yes, you must. And she says, you come with me. I go, anything you want, baby. She said, come over here. I go over there. And she says, okay, spread your legs. So I spread my legs. She said, put your hands up. I put my hands up. And she starts patting me down. And then she starts going down on my legs. And then she kneels down in front of me. And she's feeling my legs and my feet. And I'm standing there in the airport like this. And then she gets up here and she takes her hand and she lifts me into the air. Now I'm in the airport going, and she gets on, she goes, everything is okay. I said, no, everything is wonderful. And I went in the bathroom and I parted my hair on the side. I changed my shirt and I went back 3 more times. Because I've been married to the same woman for 25 years in a row. That's something, 25 years in a row. Now I know a lot of you have been married longer than that, but 25 years in a row was good for me. It was my first marriage, and I met my wife on the computer. No, I'm not going to have another one. That's it. I'm done. I have 1 child. I'm finished. So I met my wife online in the old days of computers. Now, these days, on computers, they have computer dating where you can see the person and talk to them. We didn't have that. All we had was letters. So my wife called me up. We talked and we went out. And we fell in love. Now, in those days, I did not have a car. I had a motorcycle. It was a big blue bike, and it had a big trunk on the back. And on the back of the trunk, in white letters, it said Perry Cycle. My name is Perry. This was the Perry Cycle. Getting the joke, right? People didn't always do this. There were times I would be driving down the street, people would pull up and they go, what's a Perry Cycle? It's mine. Your name's Perry? Yes, it is. What are you, a comedian? Yes, I am. And they would try to run me over. So we went out on the bike. After about 6 months of going out, she says, hey, why don't you come to my house? So I drive out to her house and I walk in. There's a guy on the couch. There's a baby crawling around, a little boy and a little girl. And I said, honey, who are these kids? She goes, oh, I guess I forgot to tell you, I have children. And I'm sitting there like this, looking at the doors, trying to figure out which is the fastest way out of the house. We've heard the saying, don't get involved with somebody that has baggage. My wife owns Samsonite. Well, we fell in love. I fell in love with the kids. And after 4 years, or rather, a year and a half of living together, I gave everybody a little gold ring. And I got down on my knees beside the dinner table. And I said, I'd like to ask the 4 of you to marry me. And everybody went like this, except for my son, who said, yeah, whatever, can we just have dinner now? Because boys are so romantic. Now, how again, by EHAs, how many people had a nice wedding? EHAs had a nice wedding. We did not. We had our wedding in a room that was not as nice as the hallways. It was all gray marble. And it was at City Hall in Los Angeles. And I went up to the counter, I said, hi, we'd like to get married. And the guy goes, oh yeah, you like to get married. I said, no, we'd like to get married. He said, yeah, you get married. I said, no, we want to get married. He goes, yeah, you get married. I said, whatever, can we get married while we're here? He said, you have a seat, we call you when we're ready. I said, we wait for you when you're ready. So the kids are running around, they're playing. All of a sudden we hear a voice, Sarah, and Perry, please come in. We walk in, it's the same guy, only now he's wearing a judge's robe. And he's speaking perfect English. The accent had gone out the window. And he reads the book, and he finally gets to the end. And now, Sarah, do you take Perry to be your lawfully wedded husband? She goes, I do. And he goes, and Perry, do you take these people to be your family? And I looked around, I said, well, I guess so, I'm here, right? See, the ladies are laughing because, guys, it was a stupid thing to do. Because the problem is, women remember every stupid thing we do forever. Forget about elephants. You women never forget the dumb things we do, and you know just when to throw it back in our face when we do something else stupid, which I've heard is about every 10 hours. So we got married, and we went on the road to do a gig, and we spent our honeymoon in a little town called Barstow. It's just outside San Francisco, about 90 miles, but it's a tiny town. It's just a loop. You pull in, there's a sign that says, welcome to, thank you for coming. And there's so much inbreeding in this town, we met people who were their own parents. We had more teeth than everybody in that town put together. And then we moved out to the deep south. My wife is from South Carolina. I love accents. And I fell in love with her because she has a southern accent. When she talks, it's like, hi, how you doing? And that's the way it is. People in the South, they don't just say hello. They stretch it out. They go, hi, how are you? What's up? And my wife has a phrase, you may have heard it. When she was going out, she says, I'm going over yonder. You ever heard that phrase, over yonder? I've looked at 57 maps. There is no place called yonder. I don't know where she was going, but she always came back. So we lived out there for a while and came back. And then, 11 years ago, I got the shock of my life. My wife wanted to have children. I did not want to have children because back in the 60s, I admit I smoked marijuana. And I had heard that if you do a lot of drugs, it distorts your chromosomes. And when you have a baby, it has an extra arm and a finger growing out of its head. So I was afraid to reproduce. And my wife takes me in the bed and says, guess what? I said, what? She says, I'm pregnant. And I looked at her and said, any idea who the father is? Yeah, she didn't find that funny either. And I sat there and I started freaking out and I just said to myself, I guess this is it. And I watched my wife get bigger and bigger. She gained almost 100 pounds. She was so big and round that if you pushed her sideways, she would eventually roll back to a standing position. Her stomach was so big it had a separate zip code of its own. And then she gave birth to my little baby Bella, and we took her home, and I fell in love right away. Named her Bella because she's beautiful. And I remember that one night she was in the bassinet, and I walked by in the middle of the night and I hear, "Rrrr." And I looked around, I thought the devil was in my house. Because you ever hear the devil on TV? He always sounds like I'm Lucifer, I'm the devil. I think they should change it up. I think they should make the devil come out dressed and looking sound just like Ethel Merman. She comes out, there's no business like soul business. I think it'd be much more entertaining. So I keep walking down here. And the smell hit me and I fell to the ground. My eyes were on fire. I crawled into the bed and I said to my wife, honey, what was that horrible smell that came out of the baby? She said, it's from the baby food. I said, you could have warned me about that. Well, a couple nights later, we're all watching TV. My wife wanted to watch a cop show, the kids did, so she went to bed. I didn't feel that was the right way to behave, so I figured I'd get even. So I waited till she was asleep, and I ate some baby food. And I waited until my stomach was going, roar, roar, roar. And I crawled into bed and I woke my wife up. I said, honey, pull my finger. She pulled it. She goes, what's that horrible smell? And I looked at her, I said, baby food. And I went to sleep. So now I got my beautiful little baby. We're out here for a week. We came out here. Next year we're going to come out for 2 weeks. And she doesn't want to go back. She loves it out here. We're staying with some friends. And I got a bunch of them here to watch the show. But as I said, it's not easy getting older. We have to adjust. Our bodies change. Our hair change. We have glasses. I look around, most people have glasses. You ever see people with glasses? You know what they do most of the time? The next generation is going to be born with a giant one finger. Although you ever see a kid on the street, any of the teenagers or young people walking down the street, they all look the same. They all have their nose in their phones. That's all they know. They can't do it. And I actually went to a restaurant. There was a circle table. There were a bunch of people sitting around the table, shoulders touching each other, and they were all on their phones texting to each other. Remember when we used to talk? Nobody talks to each other anymore. It's all texting. You know, nothing bothers me about the young people. You call them up, you say thank you. Used to say you're welcome. Now what do? You say thank you and they go, uh-huh. Thank you. Yup. So what I do is I keep saying thank you. Over and over. Thank you. What? Thank you. Okay, thank you. Uh-huh. Thank you. Eventually they say you're welcome. But the bottom line is, keep yourself going. And be happy with whatever age you are, because you made it. Think of all the people that were younger than you that didn't get this far. You know why you made it? Because you wanted to keep going. And that's the important thing. So I like to celebrate birthdays. Now, I understand we have a couple people here that are celebrating birthdays in August, back on the 2nd. Emma Rose, are you here? Emma Rose? Not here? All right. Mildred Ring, right here in the front. Hi, Mildred. How are you? Congratulations. Birthday was on the 7th. And how old did you turn? In my dreams, she'll tell me, she said. In your dreams. I have a lot of women say, old enough to know better. Obviously not, because you're here. You know, that's the thing. Well, be proud of whatever age you are. Now, were you married? Were you married? How long was your marriage? 25 years, same as me. I've always asked the couples that are together, because the couples are always funny. Any couples here? Anybody together? No couples? I did a show last week. There was a couple sitting right where you guys are, right in the front. They were leaning on each other. It was down in San Diego. I said, are you guys a couple? He looks at her, he goes, I guess so. I said, how long you been together? He goes, 10 minutes. They say crazy things. I had another couple, I knew they were together. She had her hand on his leg. And I said, you guys together? She said, whatever. I said, how long have you been together? She said, 54 years. I said, that's pretty good. How long have you been married? And she said, 4 years. I said, so you knew each other for 50 years, and then you got married. What made you rush into this? She looks at him and says, we were waiting for our spouses to die. So that's it. Once we get older, we get this sixth sense of humor. Give you a couple, what they call senior group. Oh, by the way, I personally don't think we should be called seniors anymore. I think we should be called vintage. Because vintage, it means you've been knocked down, you've been fixed up, but you're still working and you have a lot of value. Because we have value. We've been around a long time. We have knowledge. We know a lot. They say kids get smarter every year because we pass on our brain power and then we give them all our knowledge. And so they are smarter. So that's the bottom line. Be happy with whatever age you are. All right, do we have Joseph Golden here? Right up front. How are you, Joseph? We're getting applause from the chicks. You know the way the chicks are. Yeah, whenever I play at the senior centers, I notice that all the guys look really happy and tired. Now, how old are you, Joseph? 88. Congratulations. And you're wearing a Philly shirt. Are you a veteran by any chance? No? Okay. Well, congratulations for making it. Somebody's phone is going off.
I shut it off.
Oh.
Sorry.
No. I don't want people to stand up because they could fall over. That's okay. All right, so here's a couple of senior jokes. A gentleman says to his friend over dinner, my wife's an angel. And his friend says, really? Mine's still alive.
Very good.
Couples driving along, they get pulled over. The officer leans in the window and he says to the husband who's driving, you know why I pulled you over? The husband says, I don't know. He goes, you were doing 90 miles an hour. And the husband says, I was doing 60. And the wife yells, you were doing 100. And the husband looks at his wife and says, stay out of this. She goes, no, shut up. And he goes, you shut up. And the cop leans and says, you guys always fight like this? And the wife says, only when he's drunk. Couple walks out of a restaurant. They walk past a wishing well. The husband throws a quarter in and he makes a wish. The wife throws a quarter in and she drowns. And the husband goes, "Wow, it worked." And one couple, they were all the way in the back, was out on a patio, and they were kissing. And they said, "How long have you guys been together?" And she says, 75 years. I said, "You've been married 75 years? And she says, "Yes, and we're both 96 years old." They met in junior high school, their birthdays were one day apart, and they were together ever since. And I thought that was really nice, and everybody just started applauding. And I said, "What do you think is the magic that's kept you together for 75 years? And she looks at her husband, and she says, "Oh, we stopped talking to each other 25 years ago."
That's the way to go.
I had another lady, I said, "All right, who's the oldest person here?" And she stood up, and she was this tall, and she stood up in a walker. And she stands up, she goes, "I'm 107 and I can still kick it." And I looked at her and said, "You're in a walker, you shouldn't kick anything, you're gonna break your hips." She said, "I did my hips, I'm working on my knees now," and she plopped back down. All right, just recently, John Whitlock, are you here? John's not here? All right, Linda Derry. Back there, Linda, how are you, Linda? Congratulations. Your birthday's coming up, 4 days. How old will you be?
75.
Congratulations on making it. That's the thing, folks. Celebrate whatever age you are. You made it. A lot of people don't get this far. They say you can get to B if you're at A, if you can see B. So always look for B. Always plan on staying at, and keep yourselves active. Try and eat better. Don't lay around and watch TV. Get out, talk to each other, play bingo. Anybody play bridge? Bridge is a great game because it bridges your brain. See, what happens with your brain is if you don't use a memory, it gets stuck in a closet and you forget about it until you smell something or see somebody and it's like, "Oh, I forgot about this." You ever been doing something and all of a sudden you remember something that you forgot for 55 years? It's like, "Oh, I didn't even know I had that in there." So believe in yourselves. Keep going. Try and stay active. Dancing is good, even if you just dance in your seat. Even if you're just moving your feet, you hear music, and talk to each other.
I danced for 55 years.
Congratulations, that's good. You still got good legs. Are you single? Are you single? No, I'm just kidding, because she would hurt me. Although I have had women hit on me after the shows. I had one lady pulled up in an electric wheelchair, and she pulls up and she goes, "Hop on, I'll give you a ride." I mean, I don't know if you have a driver's license or not. She goes, "Who cares?" But that's the bottom line. You got to keep yourself going. It's all about attitude and motivation. Like I said, I'm 64. I do comedy. I do karaoke all the time. But one of the things I love to do is I love to sing. So I think maybe we should do a little bit of singing. Now, singing is good for you for two reasons. Number one, it keeps your brain awake. And as I said, if your brain walks, the body will follow. Number two, it makes you breathe. And guess what? Air keeps you alive. So it doesn't hurt to breathe every once in a while. So let's do a couple songs here. Let's start out with When the Saints Go Marching In. Now, it's what they call a two-parter. So you can jump on. It's the same lyrics. So come in whenever you're ready. Oh, when the saints go marching in.
Go marching in.
Oh, when the saints go marching in. Real loud, come on. I wanna be in that number. Where? When the saints go marching in. Very good, you did it unassisted. Thank you, the three of you, for getting that joke. I appreciate it. Yeah, see, that's the thing with jokes. Sometimes people don't get them, but you gotta laugh. Human beings are the only creatures on the planet that laugh at themselves. You'll never see a dog walking, fall down and go, It doesn't happen. We do, we laugh at yourself. Your funny bone. You ever bump your funny bone? It's called a funny bone because it's funny to everybody but you. And that's why we laugh. Remember the Three Stooges? You know why they were funny? Because they hurt and we didn't. People like to see other people hurting because we're not hurting. Now, I was at one show, and I said, what do you guys do for fun? Lady says, well, when the newbies come in and they run up to me in the hall and they say, where's the bathroom? I send them to the other end of the building just to watch them waddle away. Now, I'm not saying you should do that, but if you can't laugh at yourself, laugh at others as long as they don't know. And we do that. If a woman falls down, every man in the room will run over to lift her up. But if a man falls down, every woman in the room will point at him and laugh. That's just the way we are. You women have got so much more ability than we do. You have a baby, you clean the house, you cook, and you put up with us. And men are idiots. I admit it, we're idiots. We have no idea. If it wasn't for you women, we wouldn't be able to put our clothes on right. That's why I dress the way I do. All right, let's try another song. Let's do Row, Row, Row Your Boat. Goes back to childhood. Same thing, two-parter. Ready? Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. Keep going. Row, row, row your boat
Gently down the stream. Your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream.
See that? You're doing it. You're singing. You did it all by yourself. Everybody was singing. Some people were moving their feet. Some people were moving their head. That's it. You guys are still going. And that's important. All right, let's do one more song. And then I know you guys have dinner coming up. How many people will be eating dinner tonight? How many people still don't know where you are? Do we have any questions? No? All right. Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, I had my hip replaced, and when they went in there, they hit a nerve, and they hit something and messed it up, so that now I've gone back in time. See, when you're little, you wear a diaper, and then when you get older, you're wearing a diaper. I have one on right now. I'm not ashamed of it. Not ashamed, not at all. To me, it's a great relief because it doesn't matter what I'm doing at any time. Wait a minute. Okay, at any time, there's just, see, that's it. You gotta feel free. And you guys have got the right to enjoy your lives. You know? Enjoy your lives. Sleep as much as you want. Get sleep because you never know. You might wake up taller. Or you might wake up shorter. I know I'm getting shorter. My mother, like I said, she was 4'11", now she's 4'10". By the time she leaves the show, she'll be 4'9". You never know. But I love her. All right, let's we'll wrap this up with one more song. Everybody seems to really, really love this song. It's called Zippity Doo Dah. All right, so here we go. Zippity Doo Dah, zippity yay. My, oh my, what a wonderful day. Plenty of sunshine coming my way. Zippity doo dah, zippity yay. Mr. Bluebird on my shoulder. It's the truth, it's actual. Everything is satisfactual. Zippity doo dah, zippity yay. Wonderful feeling, wonderful day. You guys are great. All right, I'll leave you with two more jokes. And he said the best jokes are about two guys talking to each other. A guy's sitting at a bar and he's crying. And his friend walks over, he says, what's the matter? And he says, oh, I had a big fight with my wife. She said she wouldn't talk to me for a month. And his friend says, that's great, why are you crying? He goes, the month is over. Another one, there's two guys sitting at the bar, and one guy says to the other one, what's going on with you? He said, oh, I had another big fight with my wife. He goes, what's this one about? He goes, she says I don't listen to her when she talks. His friend says, so what does she say? He goes, I don't know, I don't listen to her when she talks. Well, I want to thank you guys for coming down here to listen to me. Please remember, you are a family now. You're all living in one house. So love each other, be nice, take care of each other, talk to each other, and try and keep moving. It's all about your brain. If the brain walks, the body will follow. So whether you have a walker, you're in a chair, whatever it is, you got a cane, keep on going. And as they say in an old movie, and I don't know what it is, they said, never give up, never give up, never give up the ship. My name is Perry Kurtz. Thanks for being here. Have yourselves a great life. Thank you. Show's over. Safe to go back to your rooms now.
And tell them for dinner. And dinner. He's a neurologist, he's a psychologist, he's an analyst. He's pretty much everything. Dr. Newton, Dr. Jewish brother.
Dot, you stay here for dinner.
So how are you? Good. Hey, your kids must be like,
Stay here for dinner. Where do you think you're running away to?
babies. There. You are only like that. Mine was 25.
Of course, you expect it different.
Yes, I know. It's gonna be fucking
Nice.
I'll meet you on the other side.
I didn't even realize what shirt I was this morning.
No.
If I would have known there was.
That's not my cup.
Some of my best friends.
They feel today. You slept a little last night.
I know.
Do you feel better when you got up?
I got up too early. I needed more sleep.
Did you go back? Well,
I had to take my car into the shop today, so I got up.
Food is great though. Food is really good.
Yeah?
I packed them all up for you. You know, lots of leftovers. Yeah, it's gonna be. I hope it is.
Yeah.
She's Randy's kid.
She does. We could get back to her house.
We'll eat your wings.
Yeah, you're close.
Shall we eat your wings here?
Come back to we go out. Oh, I think it's
Wait, I might as well make it a family shot.
why don't we all do it?
Where's Anita? There Get her stool.
Love that.
Wide angle shot.
Yeah, your shirt, beautiful.
That's all right.
Just announced that
We were
Dead
staring.
and Company, Wells Fargo.
Everybody, we were enjoying it.
Great.
Yeah. That guy. Don't go. Bigger fish. I'll go. Yeah. See the two drummers since I missed all the other shows. Yeah. Wait to see how it is, but you know. Hey, listen, what's the happy dates? November 5th. And I'm only stop 2. The guy's backyard. So, is it the cool food? It's Court 3. No, Court 3 is Phil's not going. Phil's playing with his 2 bands.
Gotta elevate it.
That's the shit to go see, right? The Halloween event. Yeah, they own Phil, right? He's married to Peter. That's fine. Really? He learned his lesson to play. He's doing another Brooklyn Dome. Chicago. You know he's Brooklyn Dome? What's that? I guess it's one in California or Vegas.
We're keeping you awake.
So there's going to be another one.
We're keeping you awake.
Phil's played in London?
Oh, poor baby.
I think, still hitting it? 7.
Thank you for coming.
See you.
Let's get a picture. Let's get it. Can we get a? Will you get in the picture? Miss Warren. I want to get a picture.
Were you talking about SGF?
A nice picture right here. Manly group.
No, we got one. You don't even have to get it all together.
my library. In my library.
That's what I'm saying. I want to record you right here. Get Betty in the picture.
Say turn around. Fancy, fancy stones, mine, 1, 2, 3. Did it work? Yeah, it looks good. Yeah, it really does. Yeah, it does.
Can I get in the picture?
Yes, please. We're doing this all kinds of impromptu. 1, 2, 3, yeah. Okay, we're in. Here we go. Would you like your picture taken? Why not?
Yeah.
Come on. I got the old phones. My phone takes long to get going here. Hold on. Say Carrie, Carrie, Carrie Kurtz. Carrie Kurtz. Love it, probably.
Victor, me. Oh, Victor.
Victor. Hey.
Whoa, he made it.
It's all good in.
Oh, Harry Brother. I got one.
Hey.
Hi.
How are you?
So excited you're here.
I'm late.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a nice thing about it. Oh my God, you're so over and over and over. Yeah. What's going on, Kurtz?
There you go. Yes, you are, David. Yep. I didn't make him up. Wasn't my imaginary. I don't know. Well, French fries. You want to come over?
That was great that you came right into the show.
How about a dunk tank?
Who do you think set all these chairs up? Who do you think set all these chairs up?
Let me help her. What are you doing here, Debbie? I'll help you.
I got it.
You got it.
Victor.
Look at the birdie. Get together. What are you doing? Oh, you are?
They usually want like $26 an hour, but I don't think she was like 10 or 15.
I'm over here. Sorry, get my charge.
Let's go for dinner. in a little bit, stay right here. I'm not gonna let you.
I can get it.
I'm not gonna let you.
Sometimes.
I have to charge
Yeah,
off.
that's cool.
You know,
I like that. It's
Well,
something
that's
I will
what I-
have to keep in mind if I need your help to employ you.
Yeah. I
And
mean,
you can
she's
count on me.
really
Right.
unhealthy, you know. I'll work with you.
Okay.
Bring us dinner, thank you so much. Well, we were gonna go out, baby. I don't know what we were gonna do. We really didn't talk about it. We were just gonna play a
You gotta dig her out.
Oh my God, oh, I just saw that.
Like 135.
Yeah, he gets diabetes and I'm watching his weight. So I got him nice and trim.
Yeah.
This much sugar per week.
It's really good. It's really, really good.
That's the secret. That is the secret. Pasta, bread, and
I'm
sugar.
telling you,
I still eat
we
the
went,
pasta.
you know what it
Still
is?
bread.
We went on the Mediterranean.
the
It's
sugar.
like the Mediterranean diet. It's so easy. It's all colors.
Yeah, what do you
Yeah.
want?
Yeah.
Smells food.
We got you.
So what do you got? We'll take it.
Where is Arby's?
All right, well then.
Oh,
Where is it?
it's up on Street Road.
You got one in Feasterville. We don't have.
There's
Barry
no
said
Arby's
he went
around
to
here.
one.
Anybody know?
Is that where he went? He said there was one on Old Lincoln Highway.
Nah, the Street Road.
Yeah, he
Oh, it's
said.
near Old Lincoln.
No,
Still on Street Road.
no. The one on Elm Street Road is in Feasterville. It's not far from Boston. By Synagogue.
Synagogue.
Yeah, yeah.
South Chaim.
Yeah, I used to go there.
Yeah, you come and eat it and back up on
It's the
the
player.
Here's Dad's Coke.
Yeah.
So you guys are gonna eat.
Where's everybody going?
I know.
I
What's the
I
plan?
have all this leftover.
Oh, really?
Yeah, why don't we?
Well, I'll bring them there in about an hour. We'll meet over there. Sounds good. No, I got food for them.
Yeah, I just you should talk. I would have.
Yeah. No problem. Yeah.
Well.
Where did you go? Where did you go?
Went to the boys' room. You get a picture of me and Bella. Bella baby. Bella girl. Looks nice.
All right, Bella. Say chicken cheesesteak. All right. That's what we say in
Cheesesteak.
Philadelphia.
Chicken cheesesteak.
What's on the menu? Yeah.
Your camera's good. You're a little fuzzy.
I'm a little more fuzzy. Why are we so fuzzy?
Go to the next one.
It's not liver.
So I did too.
Fuzzy.
You have to press it. It's
Maybe I didn't hear it right. Well, you've always been a little fuzzy, you know.
Here, Gary will take it.
Arby's, look at you.
Curry. Got
Yeah,
an
you have to press
addiction.
the, you have to press the screen.
I bought them, like my mom, you know, you can bring her. She puts them in the fridge. She puts them in the microwave. I got her.
What am I doing?
Dogs,
You
I got
know
her.
that you know he loves parrot.
Yeah.
Love her face.
Never know.
My girlfriend Annette. Hi, honey.
Thank you.
How are you, honey?
So that's for your mom? That's for her.
Yeah, well, I'll give her a moment.
You love her too, right?
You know what it is? I put it in the fridge. I line them up, and then she has like lunch for 5 days. You know,
Right,
like
she's strong.
I was there. Dessert.
Where do you buy her at?